Hello, everyone. Do you know what we don't need more of? Christmas music.
I think you're wrong.
After this, I know you agree with me.
That's fair.
We have like a Nat King Cole, and we got Mariah Carey, and I think we're set. I feel like most Christmas music that comes out is generally shit. It's bad. So naturally, me and Brendan decided to find the worst Christmas albums we could, and we're here to discuss them.
We have a selection of 4 albums. We tried to find the worst of the batch, and oh boy, we found some bads.
The albums will get progressively worse as the video goes on. Let's start with the best record out of the ones we listened to, A Legendary Christmas by John Legend. Not actually that bad of a record. It's incredibly boring. The production's decent. Not John Lennon. He's back.
He's back, baby. He's making Christmas music.
The Christmas music was so important to John Lennon. He came back. Yeah, like, it's produced decently. So it actually has some pretty cool features. There's a song on here, The Opener, that features Stevie Wonder, which I think is really cool. We're only going to be talking about the original version. The version you can find on, like, Spotify is 1 hour and 6 minutes. And if we were talking about the full hour and 6 minutes, I think I would be much more negative towards this record. After you listen to, like, 40 minutes of Christmas music, I'm done. I don't need more than 40 minutes and max.
That's definitely fair, especially with John Legend, where a lot of these songs tend to fall into the same categories. He's got pretty decent production. There's not a lot of substance to it. Some nice reliance on like horns and piano and stuff like that. And John Legend's like, he's got a good singing voice. He's just having some fun singing some Christmas tunes. If I was having like a family gathering or something, and this was the Christmas album I was putting on at this Christmas family gathering, I don't think anybody would complain. But it's certainly not like great music. It's definitely very passable.
You got some like decent kind of jazzy instrumentals on these songs. It sounds decent, is what I will say. I feel like there's better options out there. As far as like recent albums that are Christmas themed that have come out, it's certainly one of the best. We should move on to the next record we listened to, which is probably, outside of Merry Christmas by Mariah Carey, I feel like this next record is probably the most well-known Christmas album. This one just happens to be Christmas by Michael Bublé. This record is very bland.
It's very like plastic and commercial. There's a lot of things here that just feel like some higher up executive was like, yes, this, instead of an actual artist who's like passionate about making music. It makes a lot of it feel disingenuous and very commercial, kind of like Christmas in a way.
It kind of checks all the boxes for a Christmas album. It's warm sounding. Michael Bublé, I think, is a pretty decent singer.
He's definitely very inspired by like classic traditional pop singers like Frank Sinatra and guys like that. However, he's doing it in a more modern spin. I feel like it's kind of tough for Michael Bublé to like specifically appeal to anybody. If you want the classics, just go listen to the classics, and his modern spin is not really appealing, I find. It's just, like I said, it feels too clean.
There's just like not much going for this record. The one thing it's trying to do, which is recapture this very classic sound, has already been done by better artists. There really isn't a point to it, much like most Christmas music.
I just want to point out one particularly low point on the album is his cover of Santa Baby, which he fits to Santa Buddy, and he has this like really weird vocal inflection when saying Santa Buddy, and the cover as a whole is bad. For some reason, that part of the album just kind of like sticks out in my mind as like, who thought this would be like, yeah, Santa Buddy. Anyways, it's pretty fine for the most part. I'm definitely not a fan of it, but it's not offensive in any way.
It's forgettable, is what I'd say. I guess that brings us to the next record we listened to, which was Every Day is Christmas by Sia. It seems like such a weird decision for her to make a Christmas record, and it's certainly different to the previous two. This is, I would say, a pop record, whereas the previous two are very more R&B centric.
Sia's like art pop thing that she has going on, she definitely takes to this album And this album, I feel like a lot of it is just like Sia having fun, singing some Christmas themed songs. Because these definitely feel like Sia songs. They're just also about Christmas.
I mean, I haven't listened to Sia's previous work, and maybe I should. But this is a record that kind of made me realize I don't like Sia as a singer. She doesn't pronounce words. Like, seriously, like, the first time I listened to Santa's Coming for Us, I genuinely could not understand what she was saying. And there are artists where that is fine, like, that works for the aesthetic. But with this, like, cheery pop song, it's like, I don't like this. It just feels awkward a lot of the time. There's sometimes where it's really terrible. The song Ho Ho Ho, what was going through her mind? The hook is so annoying to me. She sounds like she has, like her nose was like, she just plugged it up when she sung the hook. Like, it's so weird and just, it's nasally, it's just, it doesn't work at all. A lot of the other songs are, like, very forgettable, and it just doesn't work.
Like, I have to give this album some credit because it's far more original than, like, a lot of Christmas records, because these are all original songs, except for, I think one of the bonus tracks is a cover. But for the most part, it's new stuff. Sia wrote her own Christmas songs and then made them. And, like, that's cool. I hope she's having fun with it. It didn't turn out good. Like we said, a lot of these songs are not great. The production, I don't like a lot of them. I also don't really like Sia as a pop artist. Her voice isn't really appealing to me. I'm not going to deny that she has, I'd say, a strong voice and like a unique style, but not to my taste. The writing, I guess they're Christmas songs, but they're not well-written Christmas songs, I guess.
It's like all Christmas songs are just kind of about the exact same thing. It's like Santa's coming, I guess. The presents.
Let's talk about the last album we listened to.
Yeah, so the Barenaked ladies decided, hey, let's release a Christmas album called Barenaked for the Holidays, and it was the biggest mistake of all time. So the Barenaked ladies are what we like to call bad. Yeah, they're also what we like to call a rock band from the late 90s who makes very boring comedy music. I'm putting that in quotes.
It has to be funny for it to be comedy, so...
attempt at comedy music.
Yeah, that's a better word.
And this record, despite being one of the shorter ones that we listened to, is unbearable. Oh, it's a pun. Ooh, unbearable.
Kind of harsh dig at Barenaked Ladies, but I feel like Barenaked Ladies is like the band that you like kind of formed with your friends as a joke in college. Like it was a one-off, like, haha, what if we started a band? And like everybody just kind of kept going through with it, but like none of you actually wanted to be in a band, but you just ended up just going through because you're like, oh, I think Jim over here actually wants to be in a band, so you just went through with it, and you're making music that nobody really likes and wants to make, but you just keep doing it. And this joke has been going for 25 years.
The album starts with a cover of Jingle Bells, which initially, when it's quiet, it's not too bad. It's just a very boring start to Jingle Bells. And then they're like, hey, let's make it rock. It gets, like, fast-paced, and they should have stopped this. Oh my god, the vocals are so annoying, it's insane. Oh man, I don't know, do they just like make annoying music on purpose?
Maybe.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe they're trying to end this joke and they're trying to get the label to like just drop them. So they keep on making bad music, but the label's like, nah, great, this is fantastic, this is exactly what we want. They're like, no, wait.
This song is the eldritch horror of Christmas music.
God.
You can't describe it.
The first song is like easily one of the most offensive on this album, I'd say.
Yeah, it does admittedly get a bit better afterwards. They're still bad. They're very Barenaked Ladies. It's really boring pop rock music that like rock radio stations can play and not feel bad about.
They should feel bad, but
they should, but they're like, it's still rock, guys. Haha. you have like the next song, Green Christmas, is just like, I should say like every song on this record is just produced. It just sounds flat. It's insanely flat sounding. It's impressive how flat it sounds. Like they put like zero effort into the production on this record.
I feel like Barenaked Ladies, they have like no finesse. Because of that, listening to their music, it's such a chore. It feels like there's a lack of passion in just making the music sound good. I don't want to listen to that.
This record just feels like they were making something as radio-friendly and inoffensive as possible, and their, like, version of that is to make it, like, as bland and boring as possible. You could still make it fun.
Good Christmas albums have, like, Christmas spirit to them. There is no Christmas spirit here. None of these songs feel like a celebration of Christmas or get me in the mood to celebrate Christmas. Or Hanukkah, for that matter. There are some Hanukkah songs here.
They may not get you in the mood for Christmas, but maybe they'll get you in the mood for Hanukkah. Because there's also Hanukkah songs on this record. Celebrate, Jews. You're represented in the terrible Christmas record.
Thank you, Barenaked Ladies, for your representation of Jews and Judaism. I feel like one of the band members is Jewish.
We should go to what I would consider the two worst tracks on the album. Actually, well, Jingle Bells is also in contention for worst track on the album. You have Elf's Lament, which is insanely funny. Is this like an anti-capitalist Christmas song?
There's no way it isn't, because he's talking about like how Santa's elves are being exploited for labor. You know, they're just trying to make ends meet, and they're like turning to like drugs and stuff to keep up productivity. It's got to be, but it's done in such a way where I'm not actually sure, and it doesn't really make much sense. And also, Michael Bublé is here.
There's like, they talk about how the elves aren't unionized and stuff, and how when, you know, you wish for your presents, consider what you're doing to the elves. Is this like a metaphor for like exploitation of workers in countries without good labor laws? Like all of those products that are made in China, they paid people like 5 cents an hour to make. Is this what this song is about? It's so weird. It's especially weird, I should say, because 2 tracks later, they cover the song, Do They Know It's Christmas? Do They Know It's Christmas? We could probably do like an entire episode just exploring this track specifically and how insane it is. So Do They Know It's Christmas is a cover of a 1980s charity single, which is put together by Band-Aid, who were they were basically a charity group that got celebrities together to sing on as singles that would make money for charity. Do They Know It's Christmas is the most I'm a white liberal who's rich in the 1980s song I have ever heard. It asks you to pray for all the children in Africa who are poor and don't get to experience Christmas like us fortunate people. Oh, man. I'm just gonna read some of the lyrics. Throw your arms around the world at Christmas time, but say a prayer and pray for the other ones at Christmas time. It's hard, but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of dread and fear. And the only water flowing is the bitter sting of tears. And the Christmas bells that ring there are clanging chimes of doom. Will tonight thank God it's them instead of you. There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Oh, where nothing ever grows, no rain or rivers flow, do they know it's Christmas time at all?
I feel like this should be lyrics to like a ghost song.
This is a very, like, I'm a rich person and I'm very out of touch with like, everything. Guys, just donate to our charity and it will fix everything. Don't think about why the world is the way it is. Just help. Just pray for them. Just pray. This song, again, it feels so out of touch and written by, like, people who are just sheltered their entire lives and don't understand anything about why this is essentially, like, the perspective of people who think just like throwing money at the problem fixes it. The single was just made basically so celebrities could feel good about themselves, and people listening could feel good about themselves and be like, yes, we're doing something good for these people, without actually like doing anything to change anything. Look, charity's good. Charity's also very inefficient. I don't have words. This is like the most out of touch shit you could ever like cover. This was 2004. Like, come on. The rest of the Barenaked Ladies album is also bad. I don't think it ever reaches the height of like, what the actual fuck are you saying that the cover does.
There's one more moment I do want to point out on the record. After Wonderful Christmas Time, which isn't the actual Wonderful Christmas Time song, it's just like the synth lead for like a minute. The band sings Happy Birthday to Jesus. And I didn't have much sanity left at that point, but I lost it.
Dude, Jesus needs his birthday celebrated too. We need to sing Happy Birthday to Jesus.
I don't think we do. Do you do that on Christmas? Do you like, okay guys, let's sing Happy Birthday to Jesus?
I'm an atheist, so no.
Damn it.
This is actually, I genuinely think this is the worst Christmas album.
Quite possibly.
You'd be hard pressed to find something that like is as bad as this. Most Christmas music is just like incredibly bland and inoffensive, but this is like, what the actual fuck were you thinking while you made this? This album breaks people, okay? I'm at the end of my sanity and I need to go listen to something that's good. Yeah, this is the worst Christmas record. Leave what you think is the worst Christmas record in the comments down below. Please, actually, I'd love to see if people can find something worse than this. When Brendan suggested this, oh god, why?
I didn't understand what I had done. I didn't know.
Hey, everyone, thanks for watching this special episode of Album Swap. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly didn't. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Consider subscribing. We got more episodes of Album Swap you can check out, or also you can check out Deep Dive into the Archive, where we take a look at just some records that we really want to talk about. I hope you have a good day, because I didn't.